Hey everybody, Dave McGrail, the head men's basketball coach here at Penn State Altoona. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're staying safe. I hope you guys are following the guidelines and making smart decisions so that us as a nation and more importantly us as an institution can get back to a sense of normalcy when the fall hits. We want to be able to get back on campus and get everybody back and get back to work in the classrooms and on the field of battle. So again, I hope everybody's staying safe and smart and that you're taking time to reflect. And this awards video should give you guys an opportunity to celebrate what happened this year for each sport individually and each individual athlete and their accolades need to be recognized. And hopefully this you take a pause in the craziness that's going on and enjoy time with your coaches and your fellow teammates as you're watching this. Okay. First, got to give thanks, as I always do, first and foremost to our athletic director, Brent Baird, who again, without him, I wouldn't have an opportunity to be a head men's basketball coach. And I appreciate all he's done for me and continues to do and his support for not only my program, but the athletic department as a whole. The rest of the athletic staff and the work that they do to support our team and our program and me personally, John, Connor, RJ, Taylor, Ashley, Jess, George, those guys that are in battle day to day, have to deal with me every single day. I appreciate all you do and I appreciate you putting up with me. Thank you so much. You guys are fun to work with and do a great job on top of it. Terry, Paul, our bus drivers, man, couldn't do it without you guys, obviously traveling to and from games, do an amazing job. I always appreciate all you guys do. Couple behind the scenes staff members that a lot of people don't know about. Lori Goodman, Lori and Dave Goodman. I appreciate all that you guys do. Lori especially, appreciate again all the work you do behind the scenes with the jerseys and the practice gear and always having everything ready to go. Dave, appreciate all your help with all the stuff that I can't do, as far as mechanically or fix it up, because I'm not very good at that, and I appreciate all that you guys do. Okay, and then Dr. Victor Brunson, I appreciate him being a part of our staff as the the FAR, the faculty athletics rep. Appreciate you working with us and our athletes and making sure that they're being taken care of by the professors and all that you do behind the scenes as well. My staff, Coach Aaron Wade, part-time assistant coach, man, don't know how he does it. Works, as a full-time sub. He works with us. He Ubers. He does a little bit of everything, and he does all this so he can continue to follow his passion of coaching basketball. And I appreciate everything that he's done for me and my program since he took over last year. So he's done a great job. Some of my student assistants that really stepped up this year, first and foremost, Big Michael Wallach. You gotta say thanks to Big Mike for all he did, his scout reports, his work, his effort, the knowledge of the game. He was a great asset for the team and also a lot of comic relief throughout the year too. So Michael, I appreciate all you've done. Brett Adorno, sorry Brett, was our official scorekeeper. Also, he was at every single practice, working as different as needed. He worked at the score clock some, he worked on the floor some. He did a great job for us this year, especially at the home games. Again, being the official book, that's a tough job, and he does a great job at it. So we're blessed to have Brett. We got Kevin, and Marcus that helped out. Kevin Swartz, Marcus Bass really started helping out towards the end, second semester. They did a good job too. Appreciate all that they did. Some of the people outside of the athletic department that I'd like to thank. Admissions office, especially Eric Biddle, financial aid office, especially Deb McQuillan, Deb Burrows in the switchboard and all the copies I ask her to make all the time. She does an amazing job. Michelle Mock and Gina Baird in the registrar's office, appreciate all their help. Harriet Gasson in DUS and Dr. Laura Palmer for all her support and both of their supports for being at a ton of games this year. We really appreciate that. Of course, the Chancellor, Dr. Lori Bechtel-Weary, man, can't even express the support that she's given my program, and really appreciate seeing her at the games, and heck, even you know, in the concession stand. So we really appreciate her support. Speaking of the concession stand, Dave Kimmel, man, Dave and his group of alumni that staff our concession stand, you know, do a great job, make it a really, really good experience for everybody that comes. Those little things matter, and we really appreciate Mr. Kimmel and all the alumni that help run that concession stand. And then finally, got to give thanks to my wife, you know, Miss McGrail, Coach McGrail, and my kids, Riley and Carter. They're the reason I do this, and they're also the reason I'm turning gray. So I appreciate her and her support throughout the year and all she does for our family. And also, one last person is my father, again, giving me the knowledge of basketball, helping out with the recruiting, helping out with scouting when able. Dad, really appreciate all your help too, man. Thank you. So, moving into the season review, again, I'm trying to go as quick as I can. One thing, I have talked to the guys numerous times since this breakout, and you know, God willing, we're going to try and get the group together in July to do more of a family type celebration with the guys and our staff, and I just think this team deserves it for everything they've done. This isn't going to, you know, do them justice. This next 10 minutes of me going through just some numbers and some basic information about our season. So we're going to get together sometime in July, hopefully, and really celebrate a lot of the accolades. But, you know, our season was an historic season, one that started off, we didn't know really what to expect, had a lot of newcomers, a lot of new pieces, but still had a good nucleus of returners, especially a really strong senior class of guys that have been through the ringer and been with me for 2 years, you know, and they had a lot of positive interaction with the newcomers immediately, and leadership, and did a lot in the fall with the captain's practices, and really implemented the ideas that I like to see in my team. And having guys like that and continue to have guys like that are going to make us better and better every year. And this group, which we'll talk about here in a minute, was a special group. So historically speaking, 16 wins, second most wins in school history. You know, we had an opportunity to beat the record this year, but as guys that follow the team know, we kind of had a hiccup down the stretch and had a tough stretch of games. A lot of them on the road, and you know, had an opportunity to eclipse the wins record, but didn't do it. But when push came to shove, and we needed to win a game to make sure that we made it to the conference tournament and hosted a game, we did that in you know, exciting fashion and convincing fashion in the last home game during senior game against Hilbert, and which kind of really cemented this team's legacy again with getting back to the AMCC tournament, reaching 16 wins, so on and so forth. 11 conference wins, this is third most in school history. You know, we were 4-1 non-conference this year, which, again, just looking down in the history, is one of the better records non-conference in the program's history during the NCAA era. We won the Shenandoah Holiday Tournament down at Shenandoah University. As we all know, we're still waiting for our trophy. Those guys, for whatever reason, still haven't sent us a trophy. But we went down there and beat a couple really good teams, including Methodist University in championship game, which won their conference and made it to the NCAA Division III National Tournament. So it kind of shows that, you know, when we were playing our best basketball, the type of teams we were able to compete with and beat. Methodist was a hell of a team, and we beat them in the championship game. So that was a big, you know, big win for us, program-wise, winning the first tournament since I've been here, so on and so forth. We advanced to the AMCC conference semifinals. You know, again, won a game at home against Hilbert in the conference tournament. Had to go to LaRoche, lost to them in the semis, played them really tough, man. Played them really tough for about 37 minutes. Unfortunately, the game's 40, but we were right there. Had a chance to win if, you know, a couple shots, you know, here or there go in, a couple calls weren't called on their end. Who knows? We might have had a chance to beat them. But again, getting to the semifinals was a huge step in the right direction again for our program. And something, again, that hasn't been done a ton here. We hosted for the first time ever an ECAC postseason tournament game. Played Hood College here in Adler Arena. First time that's ever happened, and we had a great experience. Had again a chance to win. That was a very, very good team, and weren't able to do it. But what an experience that was! Great crowd, great atmospheres, and hopefully we continue to build on that. Before I get into some numbers, I do want to make sure that I recognize the younger guys. Our varsity reserve team played a 10-game schedule this year. Went 5-5 against JUCO schools mainly, and one or two other four-year JV programs. But going 5-5 against some of the competition that group played just speaks volumes for the future of our program. Again, man, we dominated a couple junior college teams with that group, and without a doubt, I got to give them recognition. Some of the guys that played solely on that team, the Adam Rackuses and Larry Cowders, Mason Marks, Josh Patushnig, Michael Shermerhorn, and those are the guys that really kind of made up that group throughout the whole year. And some other guys did help here and there to fill. Trevor Hunter had some huge games for that group as well. So future's bright. Varsity reserve team did a great job this year, not only representing us against other institutions, but also in practice, really pushing everybody day in and day out, making us better. So appreciate you guys as well. Wanted to give you some accolades. Some of the things, team-wise we did this year in relation to the conference, we led the AMCC in field goals attempted, field goals made, three-point field goals attempted, defensive rebounds a game, total rebounds per game, and block shots per game. We were the leader in all those categories in the AMCC, which speaks highly of this team once again and what we were able to do within the conference. Nationally, which is probably even a little bit more exciting, we led the entire nation in total block shots. And, got to give some guys some kudos for that record. Obviously, Big Cam, who, has locked it down the middle for 4 years now. Had a lot of help this year, specifically with Andrew Harmon coming in and averaging almost 2 blocks a game himself. And then Clavon Scott, the man, coming off the bench, backing up Cam, 6'5" backup post player. And he averaged over 1 block a game this year in his time. And obviously there were some other guys that had some blocks, but those three mainly led this team in block shots and really protected the paint, and again led us leading the nation in total block shots throughout the year. So what an accomplishment to lead the nation in any category. So excited about that as well. And another award that I want to talk about for this team that I think means most to me, to be honest, been trying to get our team grade point average up to a 3.0 since I've been here, and we were pushing it the last couple of years. And finally got over that hump, and our team grade point average was a 3.08888, which is very good. It's very good to have a team of close to 20 players be able to have a team GPA of 3.0, and with that gave us an opportunity to win the AMCC, our conference's Academic Peak Performer Team Award. We had the highest team grade point average for any men's basketball team in the AMCC. First time in school history that's happened as well. Really proud of that group for doing it. Obviously we had some all academic members that really pushed that GPA up, but everybody played their part and did a great job. So couldn't be happier of the team. With that as well, coming down the line, I'm a member of the NABC, the National Association of Basketball Coaches. We will be recognized as well for having a team GPA of 3.0 for that, from that organization as well, coming later in the summer. Okay. Just a couple of team game records also, talking about the team performance in a game. We set the most three-point attempts in a game in program history. We attempted 37 threes against Alfred State, which was a game we did win. And then we also set the record for most steals in a game for a team in the history of the program, and that was, we had 25 steals against Pitt Bradford here at home, which was a very exciting game for those of y'all that got to see that. Okay, just kind of moving on into some individual accolades in terms of all-time type stats. Some new single game records were set this year by separate individuals, including Andrew Harmon, attempted the most field goals in a single game in school history when he attempted 30 shots against Franciscan here in a game at home. And then Jack Custers set the single game record for 3-point field goal percentage for anyone with 6 or more makes. Jack went 7 for 8 at Franciscan in a game that we won, where he really dominated that game. He shot 88% from the 3-point line, 7 for 8 that game. So that is a new single game record. And then both Andrew Harmon and Austin Christ, yes, Austin Christ, set or tied basically the best single game free throw percentage record, where they both went 100% with makes of 6 or more in a game as well. So those are some new single game records that were set this year by individuals. Some new single season records that were set this season by certain individuals include Gardner Nicholson broke his own field goal percentage record this year. This year he shot 68% from the floor, 68%, which would have put him in the top 5 in the nation, but he didn't have enough attempts per game. But 68% from the floor, that not only is the single season record for Penn State Altoona, it also set the single season AMCC record for field goal percentage in a season as well. So Cam now is an all-time leader in that category, not only here but within the AMCC in the single season as well. Cam also set the most rebounds in a season this year with 259 total rebounds. Andrew Harmon set the most defensive rebounds in a single season in the history of the program at 180 defensive rebounds this season. Cam and Trey Butterworth set the record for most games started. We played 28 games this year, and Cam and Trey started all 28, so that's a new single season record as well. And then Clavon Scott, Andrew Harmon, Robbie Hicks, Austin Christ, and Cam all played, or were the guys that played in all 28 games, and so now they set the record for most games played in a single season, because 28 games was the most games we've ever played in a single season. Again, just going on, showing how well we did and moving on in different tournaments and things. So all those were new single season records. And then career records. We had some guys break into the career record books, or some just solidified their spot. I should say one person, actually. So at the end of his career now, Gardner Nicholson is the all-time leader in field goal percentage at 63%. He is the all-time leader in offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, total rebounds, block shots, and games played in Penn State Altoona's history in the NCAA Division III era. Gardner Nicholson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different records he is now on top of. Congratulations, Cam, on breaking those career records, and so proud of you, man, so proud of you. So just kind of continue to talk about this senior class while we're talking about Cam. Obviously, I mentioned all the things he's done in his career here. This group right here all needs to be recognized real quickly individually for what they've done for this program, and just where they rank all time as a group and individually. Clavon Scott, in his 2 years here, he's now 10th all time in block shots per game average. So he's getting an all-time record right now. Trey Butterworth, this past season, he's had the 10th most assists in a single season. This season, when he got an opportunity to start and play a lot of minutes, he was able to break into the single season record column with that. He's been an academic all-conference member for all 4 years he's been here. So he's been an amazing piece of this program for the past 4 years. Austin Christ, mentioned a couple other little things that he was on all time. But also Austin is 8th all time in the program's history in field goal percentage. He's 6th all time in program's history in steals. He has the 2nd most steals in a game. He has the 6th best field goal percentage in a game. He has the 4th best season 3-point field goal percentage, which he set this year, where he finished 4th in the conference in 3-point percentage. And he has the 8th most steals in a single season as well. in his career here. He also has been a three-time academic all-conference while he's been here. So, I mean, just between those four guys, Cam, Clavon, Trey, and Austin, their names are littered throughout our record books. And not only that, their record, or the record in the past 4 seasons, was 55 wins and 53 losses, which makes them the all-time winningest class in program history. The only class that finished their career with an over 500% winning percentage, being 55 and 53. 44 conference wins in that stretch, also a record. So this class right here, Cam, Trey, Austin, Clavon, are the all-time winningest class, senior class in program history. So congratulations, guys, man. You guys earned it. You've done a great job representing this team, this program, and this university. So proud of you guys. Can't even put it into words. Again, we're going to celebrate a little bit more when we're all back together, but I wanted to point that out, and again, how proud I am of those 4 guys specifically. All right, some award winners that we had this year throughout the conference and even the nation. First, Jack Custers. Jack Custers was a player of the week 1 week during the season here at the AMCC, where he had 2 back-to-back huge games, again against Franciscan and then at home against Medaille. I think that week he shot 80% from the three-point line overall, averaged close to 25 points a game in those 2 games, and he was awarded with the Player of the Week award. Also, Jack, towards the end of the year there, obviously the clinching game against Hilbert, he had a big monster game, had a good game in the AMCC first round against Hilbert, where I believe he scored 15, 16 points. And then, you know, the semifinal game at La Roche, he blew up, man. He kept us in it, scored 29 points in that game, had an amazing showing, and was awarded with the AMCC All-Tournament Team selection for his performance in the AMCC Conference Tournament. Also, Jack, you know, in my personal opinion, was kind of robbed of an all-conference nod. 8 of the 11 coaches voted him on the all-conference team, but he missed the 3rd team by, I think it was 1 point. So people out there know how good Jack was for us, and you know, he had an amazing season, an amazing career here in his 2 years here. So appreciate Jack for all he's done. Also, Jack this year was an academic all-conference. So congratulations, Jack, for your season and those personal accolades. Cam Gardner Nicholson, in our tournament down in Shenandoah, he was named to the all-tournament team for the Shenandoah Holiday Tournament. He was a 2-time player of the week during the season for the AMCC, and he was voted 3rd team all-conference for the 2nd year in a row, 3rd team all-conference. He had an amazing season, and obviously was awarded and rewarded for that with these awards. Okay, Andrew Harmon. Andrew Harmon had an amazing first year for us. He was the MVP of the Shenandoah Holiday Tournament that we won down at Shenandoah University over Christmas break. He was voted 2nd team AMCC All-Conference, which for a first-year player is very, very good. Rarely does that happen. With that as well, he was named the AMCC Newcomer of the Year, which is an award that is very, very deserving. You know, again, a guy who first year playing college basketball, you know, burst onto the scene and did amazing things throughout the season for our team and our program. Again, as I mentioned, broke some records here in his first year, and we're looking for big things for him for the next 2 years in his junior, senior year. So, you know, the sky's the limit for Drew. And then finally, he was awarded a place on a organization called That D3 Guy. Drew was named to the All Newcomer of the Year team throughout the entire nation. So he was 3rd team on that. So out of all the newcomers in the entire nation, Drew was basically picked as one of the top 15 best newcomers in the entire nation. So again, as I said, we're looking for big things from Drew. Real excited about his progression this year and continued progress in the next couple of years. Some of the other guys that I need to mention that have also made the academic all-conference team, which I think is just as important, include Larry Cowder, Mason Marks, Nate Gillen, and Dom Fucella. So guys, really appreciate all that you guys did academically and on the floor as well. All right. Before I get to the final awards, I do just want to say a brief thank you to two guys that are going to be leaving after the end of this year along with the season. First one is Mason Marks. Mason played for us this year, started all the varsity reserve games. It was just a dominant force on that group, but also played some big time minutes for us on the varsity team. He threw him in there, whether it was a minute, a second, 20 seconds, 10 minutes, and he made something happen every time he was on the floor. He's a guy that I recruited a little bit out of high school and, decided to come out and play this year. And, he did a great job. He did an amazing job for us, and we're going to miss him. And we wish him all the best of luck up at State College as he finishes his degree. But I just wanted to make sure that he understands what he meant to this program in his short time and what he did. The second one is Jack Custers. Again, for those of you who don't know, Jack has decided to head up to State College after his 2 years here playing basketball. And what a 2 years it was. Led our team in scoring both years as a freshman, and then led us again this year as a sophomore. Last year he was the ECAC Rookie of the Month in December. Had some amazing games as a freshman in difficult situations with us losing Jalen. He had to play some point guard last year, and again did everything on the floor that we could expect out of him. And then this year, obviously, had an amazing run. In January alone, he averaged 21 points a game in those 7 games. Had a streak where I think he had 5 straight 20-point games. Probably would have had another one, but got his eye busted at Barron with it sitting on 19 points, and was a big reason for our success this year. And Jack knows what he means to me. It means to this program, and I know that I'm not the only one that believes we're going to miss watching him play on the floor. For those of you who have been to our games and followed us the last 2 years, you know what kind of player he is and how fun he is to watch. But he's always family, and we wish him the best of luck finishing his degree up at State College. And again, I appreciate everything he's done for this program in his 2 years as a Penn State Altoona line. So thank you, Jack. Finally, just real quickly, going to go over the individual awards that we gave out from the team. These were voted on by the team and the coaching staff. So real quick, without further ado, the AMCC gives out a all sportsmanship team, and our team voted. We all voted for Dom Fucella as our sportsmanship team member. Dom fought some injuries again this year, continued to rehab from his shoulder, which he did a great job on. Then he hurt his ankle a couple times and just kept battling. And when he got minutes in games, he produced. Had a great game at La Roche when we played him in the regular season. Had a couple big games here at home where he knocked down some big shots for us, played well against Juniata and some other folks throughout the year. So, Dom's got 2 more years. We're looking for big things from him, but the way he handled himself throughout the season with trials and tribulations and stayed positive and was always a good teammate, a good practice player, that's why we felt he deserved this sportsmanship award. So, Dom, congratulations on your sportsmanship award, and again, look forward to working with you the next couple of years. Coach's award. This was a tough vote. I mentioned Mason Marks, and in previous, Mason was runner-up for this award, and again, Mason is a coach's dream. But he was edged out in the voting by a guy who I believe deserved it. Again, this young man had been with me for 4 years, 3.5 technically, and to be honest, he's a guy that we needed numbers. He wanted an opportunity to play college basketball. We gave him that opportunity, and for the next 3.5 years, nothing I ever asked him to do, he didn't do. He always was the first one in the gym, always on time, never late, always went hard in practice, always went after it at practice, and minutes in games were sporadic. He played some reserve games for us for 2.5 years, and always played hard in those games and played well in those games. And then, you know, in the games that he did play, especially his sophomore year, he had a great run in that team's success. Last year, probably didn't play as well as he wanted to his junior year, and maybe it was because I didn't give him enough of a chance. I'm man enough to admit that. But this year he got his chance, and he started all 28 games, as we mentioned. He finished 10th in the season in assists, and you know, a guy that getting emotional video, a guy that has meant a lot to this program and has meant a lot to me and my family, and you know, we're gonna miss him. He's gonna make a hell of a coach one day because he knows basketball, he knows work ethic. And he's a guy that we're going to miss. And so my coach's award goes to none other than Trey Butterworth, my guy. Trey, congratulations, coach's award. Appreciate all you've done for us and our program, man. I mean that. And then finally, MVP, I think goes without saying. He'll be a back-to-back winner. Gardner Nicholson, you know. Talking about a guy who's meant a lot to the program. I mean, I ran over all his stats already, how much he shows up in the statistical history of our program. But I think on top of that, he's meant so much more to this program as being a figurehead, not only on the court but in the classroom, on campus, being a leader of our SAC, and then not only that, being the conference rep for our AMCC on the National SAC Committee. Cam had an amazing year. When we needed big games from him, he came through, especially in the clincher against Hilbert, where I believe he had 28 points and just dominated the game. They had no answer for him, and you know, he and some others put us on his back in that game and said, we're not losing this game, and we didn't. And you know, Cam will forever go down as one of the guys that have helped turn this program around. And again, a guy that means a ton to me and my family. And can't think of what these last 4 years would have been like without him. So, my MVP, my guy, Gardner Nicholson. Okay? Well, there you go, man. I wrapped up right around 30 minutes. Hopefully, you guys stuck around to watch it all. And I'll just leave you with this. You know, one of the things that we really tried to focus on this year was instilling our pride mentality. You know, I know a lot of people might joke about it, but we take it pretty seriously. Pride is an acronym that we've been using since the day I got here, and it stands for being passionate, being resilient, being involved, being disciplined, and being enthusiastic. And I truly believe that this team really epitomized that pride mentality. And right now, more than ever, staying resilient is something that I hope that I've instilled in these guys that's helping them right now. Staying disciplined through this time of strife and stress is something else that I hope has been passed along from me to these guys. But most importantly, guys, stay enthusiastic about your life, because this will be over and it'll be time to get back to work, whether it's in school, in a real job. But you got to stay enthusiastic about life. It's the only way to approach it. Okay, that's all we can do. So again, man, Coach McGrail, to my guys, to my staff, to everybody, I appreciate all you guys do for us in our program. And stay safe, and we'll get through this. Go Lions.